Hello there, you wonderful person. I am Gareth Mason. It is Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. It's exactly 7:20 p.m. And I am at work recording this vlog because I had my camera and I didn't want to do another walking on the streets vlog. So there you go. So let's start with what is on my mind. Yeah. Sure. There's something that is on my mind. You can, when you were talking about how you do things, and like you're sharing the way you do something. For example, baking a cake. I'm not gonna go into details because, or should I? Should I go into details? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go into details because what the hell? Like we were explaining about how we deal with the grammar and like everybody has a different way. Like one of the great things about working in this place here is that we have a certain freedom to conduct our classes as we see fit. Of course, we cherish this. Like we are trusted to do this for a reason, right? We're selected to be only the best ones can become teachers here. So it's not anybody's, like there is a process, evaluation and assessment of the teachers if they're doing a good job or not. And so anyways, we were sharing the way we deal with grammar and how we deal with content in general. And I shared my way, and then a coworker shared his way, and he was so obnoxious about how his way is better. Like, oh my goodness, like he's not even my superior. Like, if he were my superior and he was trying to convince me how to, like, that his way is better, sure. Whatever, you know, but no, he's not. He's just a coworker, and of course, just a coworker, somebody who has years of experience. So, best thing to do always is to shut your ego down, prevent it from being too much of an issue, and accept the feedback, accept the suggestions. Yeah, but I feel like I'm pretty good at doing that all the time. I've been pretty tired lately, so my patience was not on the high, you know, it wasn't very high. I didn't have a lot of patience. So I was like, okay, come on, man. I was not rude or anything, but I'm sure he understood that I got annoyed because he removed himself from the place. Anyways, there are two ways to look at the situation, yes? First way is, like, dude, if your coworker is sharing something, it's like, you shared yours, great, your coworker understood. Don't try to preach it. Don't try to keep saying that, oh, this is better. Like, why don't you try my way? Like, why my way is so much better? Do. Like, that's one way to think about it, right? It's annoying. What about the other way? What if you listen to this advice and try the strategies instead of just shutting down and protecting my own way of doing things. Which of the outcomes is more likely for me to grow as a professional and as a person? It's the latter one. And this is one of the many reasons why doing the vlog like this, I didn't have that conclusion until I said these words right now after I started recording this vlog. I was just pissed. Now I'm like, you know what? I allowed my ego to get in the way of learning. And it's because his way of doing things requires more work, and I don't need any more work. I'm a naturally lazy person. And I'll say that not with pride, but with acceptance. Like, I will do things, I will do as much as possible in order not to do things. So let's take the ChatGPT for example. The time that it took me to train the GPT to give an assessment and feedback that I was happy with, that I agreed with, and it was replicable, and I could do it multiple times. I could have used all this time to correct all my writings and be done with work. Like, I would have been done with correcting and finishing the grades by this week. But no, there's something inside of me that told me, like, no, we have to work harder now in order to work less, or to have an easier time in the future. Let's talk about why I do that. Because, I have a normal human being brain, I feel. Whereas my superiors, specifically there's 3 people that work here that I know for a fact that their IQ is more than 120, 130 even. And it's just like these tasks that require a higher mental capacity, a higher brain activity. For example, correcting texts, writings, in a way that is fair for all the students, and it doesn't just see how many mistakes they've made, but also assesses how they used, how well they followed the prompt, how well they used the grammar vocabulary they learned during the bimester. And all of these myriads of little details that a mere human being like me cannot keep in the head. Like, maybe I'm behind everybody else here, all the other professionals, all the other teachers, but I don't feel like I can hold all of this and be fair with all of the students and see all of these details over and over and over again, because I'm an anxious person. So, and that requires so much work, so much brain work, I get a headache doing this kind of stuff. And that's just seeing how many mistakes they've made. Now, with the GPT, what did I do? What can I do? What did I do? Like, GPT, with my prompt, created a unit way. Basically, it gave weight to the mistakes. Like, there are grammar mistakes, there are spelling mistakes, that really do not hinder the reader's ability to understand what the writer wants to say. And then there are mistakes that completely change the sense of the sentence, you know. Having to assess that all the time, every time we're correcting a text, is like just mentally draining to me, and it's something that an AI can do very well today. I don't think it was able to do that 6 months ago or a year ago, because I've tried and I could never get to an acceptable uh, outcome. But today I feel happy with the results. I did it. I did it for all my advanced groups, and I was happy with the results. Plus, it pops out a feedback telling the students the things that they did well and what they can improve. Like in there is like there isn't a chance that I would be able to do such a thing. So that is the reason why I decided to do that. And what I want this, if all the work that I did helped me, great. That's pretty great. But if all the work that I did could help me and every single other teacher here in the school to do their jobs better, I would be even happier. It would be even better. Because I don't believe that I should hoard the advances and the evolution, my own evolution here, and all the the ideas that I have for myself, if they work, just hoard them and just use it myself and keep it to myself. I don't believe in that. I believe that we need to share, and if the whole school grows, I grow with it, and hey, I'm going for the long run here, man. I want this place to be on business, and until I'm old, because I love working here, and a strategy for me to do that. You see, this is completely selfish, business, selfish reasons. I want this place to be on the map up until I'm an old man, because I love working here and I want to keep doing it until I can no longer work. You know, I don't think I'm ever going to retire. Like right now, I'm tired. I want vacation. We're gonna have a little break next week. Actually, by now, next week, 1 week from now, I'm gonna be going to a pizza place, a pizzeria, with my coworkers for us to enjoy an evening paid by the company. And then Friday and Saturday we don't have to work. So that I'm living for that, man. Don't get me wrong. But overall, not thinking about my state of mind right now, not thinking about how tired I am right now, just thinking about like the big pictures. I couldn't be happier. I am so happy in life working here, and with my life. I was thinking about something. What are my priorities? What am I paying attention to in life? I think I figured out an equation that makes me happy, that makes me content. So, my priority, number one thing in my life is my family. So spending time with my family, spending time with Alan, spending time with Gustavo, just talking, laughing together, playing, just family, taking care of my family and being with my family. Second place, it's me, myself. Me doing these vlogs is me taking care of myself, me exercising, me doing a vlog, streaming, playing my games, just being by myself and doing whatever the hell I want. That's me taking care of myself. And in third place is work. I love my job. I love working here. I love doing as best as I possibly can, giving everything that I can in order for me to, for my students to have the best possible quality service. That's the order of importance. But I need to put energy into each of these areas in order for things to be good in each of these areas. I need to spend time. So imagine like The Sims, and there's these 3 bars, family, self, and work. And you need energy, you need to put energy in order for these bars to rise, to fill up. This is like bars, right? The Sims bars. These bars to fill up. And family is always going to be important, number 1. Myself second, work third. But these bars constantly are constantly drained with time. Just with time, what's the name of the entropy? I think, yeah, entropy just makes things go to shit just because of time. So I need to put energy into these areas in order for them to fill them back up. Sometimes these bars drain faster. Sometimes they don't drain as fast at all. But whenever they're on the red blinking, even if I have to do the other ones, I gotta put energy into the one that is blinking. For example, this week my work bar is blinking. Why? I haven't finished the report cards yet. So everything is good, like I have a plan, everything is mostly done. I just have to put numbers from the paper to the computer. Pretty much that's all I have to do. There are some tests for me to correct still, but for the most part I just have to data entry, right? So I am, like yesterday I worked morning, afternoon, and evening. Today I worked in the morning and in the afternoon, like the whole morning. So I'm working a lot more than I'm used to. And of course, as a consequence, the other 2 bars are going to start dwindling as well. That's just life. That's the juggle, right? It's never going to be perfect. One of these bars is always going to be like going into the yellow, sometimes flashing red. So when it's flashing red, I have to pay attention to it. But, it's the juggle. It's the juggle of life, and these are I accept that. I have no problem with that. Am I always going to be happy? No, absolutely not. There are going to be moments where I feel blissed and I have everything in the world and I feel amazing. There will be moments where I feel like shit and I'm extremely tired, exhausted, and I feel like the bottom of the barrel. But that's just life, and I'm okay with that. I've been listening to I listened to a podcast with, I don't remember the name of the podcast, but the name of the interviewer is Chris Williamson with Matthew McConaughey. Dude, I really admire Matthew McConaughey. He has a way with words that is just hypnotizing, It's just great. I really love listening to him talk. and it's the content that he's a philosopher, and it's just beautiful to see him speaking about the stuff that he talks about. Check it out. It's a new episode. Anyways, that was on my mind lately. I much prefer this way, man. I really like it. Starting with whatever is on my mind and then talking about giving you the update. We're definitely going to be doing that from now on. Just talking about whatever's on my mind. If there's nothing on my mind, I can start talking about my update, and then as I remember stuff, I'll just, talk. This is a work in progress, these vlogs. Always evolving, always changing, always, getting better, hopefully, and telling my story. So, what happened since last time? Last time I updated you, it was last night. Yeah, when I got home. Yeah, before I had my class. It was a good class. We spent half of it correcting the homework, which is good, I don't really have the opportunity to sit down with my students and check their homework. Like, I don't go in depth of what the homework talks about. And like, we still didn't really go in depth, but it's like, it was about friendships and close friends and everything, and how we don't really have close friends anymore nowadays. And that's true. It's just a reality, As adult life arrives, you have less and less time. You have priorities. You have more things to pay attention to in order to keep the bars filled up. Yeah, that's true. And then the other part, things that, just the relatives, your family members that are from other country, they are your ancestors. Ancestors and where they came from. That was fun. That was cool. And then I went to pick Ellen up, took a shower. Yeah. Nothing too much. This morning I woke up, came here, actually taught my VIP class in this very class. Exactly 11 hours and 43 minutes ago. No, 11 hours and 13 minutes ago. 12 minutes ago. Yeah, I was here teaching my class. My student cried again today. We're talking about history, about languages, and then history, and then theology, and then preaching. I am not a religious man, but I feel like I'm being converted. Every time I approached the divine and things related to that, it's been good for me. I don't know if I talked about it in this vlog before, but I don't say God, because when I say God, I don't have a good feeling, I remember my grandmother being fanatical and just enticing fear onto me. I don't have a good feeling. Divine though, that feels good. And I remember praying when I was searching for my soulmate. I remember praying, I think it was the first time I prayed ever since I was a kid. And I said to myself, hey, what the hell, might as well try, right? So I did. And then Alan appeared in my life. Interesting, right? And then I remember one day I was going home from the supermarket, and I had just met Ellen. It's like a week or two after we met. And I remember I was thinking about her, and I looked at the skies, and then I felt slash heard, but mostly felt a yes, a strong yes. Something that I've never felt in my life. I had never felt something like that in my life. I can only describe that as the divine talking to me. And Ellen is religious, you know, she believes, she's a strong believer, but she's not a fanatic like my grandmother used to be. So my relationship with this is much better nowadays, and I feel like it's improving. And I do pray sometimes now. And every time I do, things get better. It's like magic. It's very interesting. I don't do it often because I like to have control over my life, and I prefer for things to happen as they should instead of asking for a superior power to meddle into my life or our lives. But sometimes, you know, it's like, man, we really need something here. So and then I pray. But for the most part, I don't. And yeah, that's the reason my student cried this morning. He was talking about God and how he has a desire to preach about the words of Jesus Christ throughout the world. It was a beautiful thing to see, you know, him getting emotional like that. So that was my morning. And then my plan was to stay in the school the whole day. But as I sit down in one of these computers to do my work, I think to myself, I can do my work a lot more efficiently from home. So I went home and did my work from there. I finished teaching GPT. Well, I got it to a point where I'm happy. So now it's just doing the job, and then it's doing the job, correcting the texts. And then this afternoon, I had one special class. How are we doing with the time? Running out of time. Yeah, I got 2 minutes. Okay. It's a special class where the students go into a clothing store that we have here. Another one, this was kind of boring. I don't like shopping, but you know, students liked it. I made sure 2 of the students said it was kind of boring, so I did it one more time with them, and then they enjoyed themselves. Next class was the difficult Inter 1 class. That was like that is a new group to me, but I feel like it was a good class. And now I'm running out of time, man. And then the last one was it was the pharmacy, the drugstore again. And I'm running out of time. Okay, I do have something else to say. Please remind me, because I'll talk about it tomorrow. It's about a student that had failed, but still she continued onwards. Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. So on this last minute, I'll talk about my plan. My plan is to now go to the supermarket, get some basic necessities, some basic stuff, and then go home and have the night with Ellen. Just enjoy ourselves, enjoy each other's company. And yeah, that's it. I ran out of time. I wish this recorded for longer, but it's fine. It's okay. I guess it's better for me to have a point. Otherwise I just ramble on forever, huh? Yeah. Anyways, that's all for today, guys. it was great to talk like this. I prefer doing like this and then on the street. Thanks everybody for watching. I have been Gareth Mason, and I'll see you the next time I see you.